Welcome back into Soul Plus Systems. I'm Jen, and today we have Susan with us. I'm excited for this conversation because what she brings feels real, grounded, and needed. So first off, welcome, Susan.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being here. Susan, for people meeting you for the first time, give us a feel for who you are in your own words.
Oh my. Okay, so I am a retired Mary Kay sales director. I am still currently with Mary Kay. Just celebrated my 47th year anniversary. I was in leadership for
Congratulations.
21 years. Thank you. I'm married. I have 3 grown children, 8 grandchildren. I'm a published author. I have written a book about raising alcoholic addict children. All 3 of my kids struggle with addiction. And so here I was, a businesswoman driving around in a pink Cadillac
I was
with
going to
my
ask about
kids,
that.
one selling marijuana at school, uh, one doing cocaine, one on meth. I mean, it was quite chaotic. And my first husband left for a new woman. He found another girlfriend, and when the kids were little, he left. Second husband, I put in jail for trying to manufacture meth in the garage. And now I'm married to Joseph, who's 21 years older than I am and handicapped. So life is very interesting. And I seem to be attracted in the past to people who are wounded. And I'm learning that wounded people have to find their own answers to their own healing. I cannot be their hero. But somewhere in my lifetime, I thought that if I could just fix enough people, that my sense of worthiness would connect. And I'm realizing that worthiness, we are worthy because we were born. We don't have to earn it. And I don't have to fix somebody else to do it. So that's me in a nutshell.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like you have a lot of things that a lot of women can definitely relate to. For someone hearing your story for the first time, what's something that they might not see on the surface?
Oh, I learned really early how to make everything look pretty. I did not want people to know my pain. I would rather go into a closet, do all the dirty work, all the crying, screaming, yelling, get all dressed and come back out looking very nice. And today, that isn't real. That is not true. And I want to live an honest, authentic, messy life. I want people to see that life is beautiful in the mess and that we are as sick as our secrets. I'm the oldest daughter in a violent home with an alcoholic. I know what it's like to be physically abused. I know what it's like to be sexually abused. I didn't want anybody to see that because I owned other people's pain. I don't own anybody else's pain now. So I think probably what they would see is, wow, you really have figured it all out. Well, I'm figuring it out every day as I go. I don't have all the
Agree.
answers, but I have the willingness to lean in and to find the answers. I'm not going to let a crazy world dim my light and shut my voice. I just won't do it.
Amen to that.
So I want to speak up and speak out and do it in kindness and respect for other human beings, but I'm not laying on the floor and letting myself be a doormat to anybody anymore.
Yeah, that's really excellent. I think that, as we get older, I'm 47, I'll be 48 here soon. So, it seems like as we evolve as women, all of the challenges and the things that have, definitely shaped and molded us have, like I always say, people have choices. You can make a good choice or a bad choice. So, I'm speaking about, the past and everything for me. I have a similar background as well. So I definitely can relate to a lot of what you're saying. And I think it's very important that we, as women, take the time for ourselves. As you mentioned, you kind of went inside and, you hit it all. And, a lot of women go through that. For me, I've cried in the shower so nobody can see. I mean, I don't wear my emotions surface level either. So I can definitely understand that. As far as us getting older and leaning into things, what's something that you've had to, to use to rebuild yourself? Tell us about your healing.
It's been a long time coming. I did not understand until just recently that I have been stuck in a fight or flight nervous system. So I have been hyper vigilant my whole life. I have been scanning the world, trying to figure out what's going to happen so I can feel safe. Safety is a huge issue for me, emotional safety. And so I've been studying about nervous system, how to quiet that part of me that panics when there's no reason. Because my head is fine. I get it in my head. But my body is saying there's a threat here. Something is going to happen. And so I'm like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So I've learned to quiet that, which has helped my blood pressure go down. But Jen, what's so interesting is that it's all about perception. And I feel like I'm living in wait a minute, something just got me off of this. Okay. I feel like I'm living in an unpredictable world. So
I think a lot of us are right now. Yeah.
nothing is the same every day. So what I'm doing is I'm learning to breathe, deep breathe. I'm doing meditation more. I believe in the power of the pen, so I like to journal. I like to do a brain dump and get everything that's in my head out of my head. I'm also engaging in the idea that the world is conspiring for me. I was not born a victim, I was victimized.
Right. There's a big difference.
That does not make me a victim, and I will not wear that label.
Exactly. That's the victim mentality that brings a lot of people down, and it makes them lose their own bandwidth to be able to center their core, to be able to calm down the nervous system. I too recently have been going through that as well. It seems like there's a major shift that's happening within like the last year, I would definitely say, where people are starting to even learn the term of nervous system reset. I remember looking back a year ago, and I don't even think we had the verbiage for that.
We didn't. I think everybody was thinking it was depression or illness, and it really is an out of whack nervous system. Once I figured that out, everything just sort of fell into place. And one of the things that I like to do, I believe in the power of the pause. I believe that it's really important before I say or do anything that I pause. But what I really like is when I put my finger in front of my mouth and I actually make the sound shh, because when I do that, my body knows it's okay to go quiet.
It grounds you.
It does. And I cannot hear the voice of my intuition or God or the universe if my nervous system is out of whack and my mind is out of control. To come back to center, I have to go quiet. So I remind myself to shh, and then I get clarity. And then I can make decisions better. I can think clearly.
Right.
So,
It seems like that's a really good technique. Maybe more women can definitely use that because for you, it sounds like it definitely works. For myself, I take the moment to go outside barefoot
yeah.
and I ground and I center myself with the universe. So I take the moment to allow the sunshine to be upon me, and to be out in the peace and the quiet, listen to nature, and just recenter and refocus myself. Again, those things are so important when we have things like cortisol that fight our systems daily through stress. So having that reset is definitely the path to being able to have clear thoughts. I think it's great that you do journaling as well. And writing actually helps me a lot too, so I can relate to that as well. I mean, what with all of this, the great experience that you've had and everything like that, and all of the life lessons that you have to teach people, tell us what you're building towards right now.
Well, I am building a coaching business. So I was in Mary Kay, and I don't know, maybe it was 8 years ago that God or the voice or the Holy Spirit for me said, I want you to let go of your leadership. And I thought, no. Well, actually, what happened was I was in therapy, and my therapist said, have you ever thought about being a life coach? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to be a life coach. I'm a Mary Kay lifer. I'm building my empire. Well, nothing was happening in my Mary Kay business. Nothing was growing. Everything was frustrating. I didn't like it, but it's what I knew. So I'm like, no, no, I'm going to do this forever. And then a year later, my brother got cancer, and we were visiting with family, and my other sister-in-law said, have you ever thought about being a counselor? And I'm like, please stop, everybody. Just leave me alone. I am a Mary Kay girlfriend.
Sometimes you can't hear the calling.
I know. But after the second seed was planted, I thought, all right, I need to be looking at this. I need to explore a little bit more. Because I always believe if two seeds are planted, there's something going on there. So lo and behold, up on Facebook comes, a dual certification program to become a life and health coach. I mean, right at the same time, seriously, how much does the universe have to smack you in the face to say, would you please look? So I decided I was going to try that. I was resistant, but I did it anyway. And when so I signed up in July, and then in August, my husband's best friend died, and then in September, my mother died, and then in October, Joseph got pneumonia, and then in December, he was falling. I mean, God, the whole idea that the universe is conspiring for me felt like, wait a minute, what's happening here? But I know that when there's resistance, there is a moment to pause and choose to move forward. Resistance does not always mean it's time to stop. For me, it means a life contraction. And you can't have a new baby unless you push. So I'm like, all right. So I became a life coach working with women. And then I wouldn't give up my Mary Kay business because I was afraid to lose the money. Because the money, and so I was like, all right, fine, I'll just not do my Mary Kay, and the business will fail, and there you have it. It'll all be gone. And then, like I told you, God said, I'm not taking a dead business. I want to see if you're willing to trust me enough to give me a thriving business where you're making money. And so I retired on April 1st, 41 years after I became a director. And it's the best decision I ever made. It changed. It took the hustle out of my system. It took the idea that I don't have to make things happen. I need to make space to let things happen. To trust that I will be in the right place, in the right moment, to talk to the right people. I mean, Jen, we just met a couple days ago, but
It's
somebody
true.
said, put it out there, Susan. So I'm like, okay, I'll put it out there. I don't know where it's going to go, but I will trust that being obedient to what I'm being nudged to do is important. So I have a business where currently I'm working more with coaches who have lost the joy in what they're doing. They're not burnt out, and everything looks good on paper. They're making money and they're helping people, but they've lost that sense of, why did I do this in the first place? I somehow lost myself in my business. So it's to help them come back to center, to who they are. Why did they even go into this business if now it's taking everything from them? So it's to help them find their way back.
That's
I call it
amazing.
finding my way back home.
That's
How do I find my way home?
We'll leave a light on for you.
Yes, yes,
The lighthouse effect for other people to be able to be drawn in. So, yeah,
yes.
there's so many things that you've spoken about that I can definitely relate to. Going back to what you were saying about giving birth, you have to push. Um, Again, it goes back to it seems like there's more of a run up the hill. To really show the universe and or God, whatever you might believe in, that you're willing to put the work in. Consistency is definitely key in order to get momentum, in order to make the money, and in order to get the attention. It seems like a lot of people just don't have the systems,
Right.
in place to take that attention and to convert it into a system that actually pays. While they're out, getting their nervous system regulated, and so that's kind of what I do over here at Neon Income AI. I allow people like yourself that have, taken the journeys, the spiritual path, walked all of those things. You're getting the clients because it relates to a lot of people. A lot of people are going through healing right now. And for myself, I heard the calling as well. It was something I couldn't leave alone. Um,
Right.
you know, I've done I've done a lot of things in my life. I had a group, I still have a group called Rainbow Pride on Facebook, and I was 10,000 global members at one point. And the
Wow.
reason I bring it up is because it actually pivoted a lot of things for me in my life. I woke up one day and decided to put the group together, not knowing where it would grow into. And I was actually recognized by Facebook, and became a power admin. So my group was selected out of 20 million groups to be featured in the More Together campaign, and also on a freeform commercial as well. So I've had like influencers, Major Slam Poet and stuff like that. That it really kind of, and this was during COVID, while I lived in Vegas. So it took me a really long time to get all of those things built up. And, to be honest with you, it was like everything that I wanted to happen was happening all at one time, and then it was just like, it was like there for the moment and then just gone for the next campaign. So it's like, where do you go from there? You know what I mean? And, and so I kind of stepped back from social media altogether for about 3 years, just completely removed myself. And and the thing that keeps me coming back is community, and the love that humans can have through the connection that we all need to have. And then I woke up and I realized that AI can actually be the multiplier for a lot of people. I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about AI. Um, but for me, it's definitely been a multiplier. My Neon Income AI channel is over 450,000 views now. And that includes the podcast of Soul Plus Systems, which is out on Spotify and Apple. So if you're new or returning, welcome back in. Hit the subscribe button. So, I mean, I think that that's fantastic that two individuals can kind of find each other through social media and just be able to share real life experiences. As you had mentioned, we've only been recently communicating to get the podcast together to have you on the show. So, I think it's great that you're able to look at your life and to have all of those things to be able to share with other people. Um,
Jen, one of the things that I think we have in common, one, well, there's more than one, but one is willingness. You stepped back, but you kept listening, and so it's like, all right, I'm willing. But the other thing is there's a difference between the energy of getting and the energy of serving. When we have the energy to serve others, it grows organically. When I have the energy of
True.
I got to
That
get
is
my
very true.
clients, then I'm chasing.
Right.
And when you run after something, it runs away from from you naturally.
True. I've had to learn that the hard way a few times or two.
Oh, I'm still learning that. I'm still hearing the noise when you have to do it this way, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta do it this way. And I'm learning that that is not in alignment with who I am.
Right.
And I think you know that. I think you know
I
that.
do. I do. I've like I said before, like-minded spirits find one another. We attract what we seek, and that's an amazing thing because, like you yourself, I'm growing every day as well, and like you mentioned, I'm willing to learn every single day. Everything I do, I look at it as a life learning lesson, so that I'm able to serve other people.
Yeah, I hear that. I feel that.
So where can people find you?
That's a good question. I am so like not techy. So I am on Facebook.
I guess it's a good thing you met me, though.
Yeah, I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on.
Did you want to drop your social handles so they can follow you?
Jen, I don't know how to drop my social handles. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. Well, do you want them to contact you through Facebook or LinkedIn?
Let's do Facebook.
Okay.
I'm on Facebook more. And if they want to contact me through my um, email, it's sgoodson.mk@gmail.com, so they can contact me that way. I am so, I'm old enough to be your mother. So I'm of the generation that's still trying to figure out, how, how do I do this? So, and you know what? In the past, I would have been embarrassed about that, but now I don't care. I mean,
Well, look at you. You're a go-getter. I mean, come on. People my age sometimes don't even want to do tech or know how to do tech. So don't feel bad whatsoever. If you ever have any questions, you can always message me.
okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. So, did you want to say your name on Facebook as well? So if they wanted to look for you there?
Yeah, I'm on. I have a group. I have two groups. One is, let me see, Jen. Let me go back to finding who I am on Facebook.
All right.
I have a group called When Your Soul is Seeking Healing and Transformation. So that's a group that has 828 members. And then I just started a new group, and that group is called, oh my gosh, it is called Successful, Exhausted, and Not Talking About It. So if they look up my name, they can probably find those groups. But one is for women. It was originally for coaches, but I have other women that are joining. So I'm
Okay.
just out there doing my thing, trying to do life and show up with the tools I have and learning more as I go.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I think I might have lost you on camera there for a second, but we definitely still got everything recorded, so we'll go ahead and get the socials out there for you. Um, I definitely want to say thank you so much for being on Soul Plus Systems. Go ahead and like and share and subscribe and let everybody know that you're on the podcast today. And we look forward to having you on as a guest another time as well, if you're open to that down the road.
I am open to that. I am standing
Perfect.
in open doors, and I'm walking through with courage and grace.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story here with me today and taking the time out of your busy day to connect and to be able to discuss everything that we need to talk about to help the healing of this world. And to put the healing energy out there. I know a lot of people definitely need that. So, again, thank you so much for being on the podcast today.